Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
All right, we're going to talk about Andor and a couple of articles here today. Tony Gilroy says Andor has the same aesthetics as the Bourne films. We've known for a while now that the Andor is going to be a spy drama set in the Star Wars galaxy, but the showrunner, writer, and director, Tony Gilroy, has opened up about what the series has in common with work of his past, such as the Bourne Identity. In an interview with Total Film, Gilroy talked about the process behind making the Bourne Identity and how it is similar to Andor. He says, I had been trying to get people to make an acoustic action movie because action movies had gotten so bombastic in the 80s, they were just enormous. So when Bourne came along, we went way down to nothing. It was about making it real, keeping someone you really understand, you really care about, in a place that you can understand the geography of, with stakes, is much more involving than a guy in a train with 15 machine guns and a helicopter coming down. That aesthetic, that idea, does carry into Andor, because we're on the ground with these people, so that everything that we do has an intimacy and an acoustic nature to it within the grandeur of Star Wars.
What's wrong with the guy on a train with 15 machine guns?
With a helicopter on the way?
That's my childhood right there.
It is a little unrealistic. I mean,
A little.
a little. Think of the Fast and the Furious movies. I could use these all the time. We started out with guys
The first
racing
one
cars
is
in the
normal,
streets,
yeah.
and it felt grounded and normal. And now they're jumping tanks and
Yeah, there's
helicopters
submarines.
and
I haven't seen the last
I
four
don't
of
even
them,
know.
I think,
I
at
don't
this
even
point.
know.
I think it was around 6 that I can't do this anymore. I just can't. Because the first one's a good, normal movie. Even the
It's a great
second
movie.
and third one are still kind of
And then they
grounded
get
a
nuts. They're jumping the shark.
literally, yeah. They were literally jumping sharks in submarines, and it's crazy. But no, I mean, I'm glad to hear that Andor is going to feel more grounded because no, I don't think I want it to be an action movie from the 80s or the 90s. Those are just, not that they're bad movies
No,
or, you
not at
can't
all.
enjoy them, but the Arnolds and the Sly Stallones.
But
and,
it's nice to have a different
Yeah,
feel. Not everyone
sure.
can be Michael Bay.
No, I enjoyed the Bourne movies when they came out. I thought it was nice to kind of, dial it down and get a little... I mean,
Absolutely.
Jason Bourne is a little unrealistic, let's be honest. I mean, he is...
Well, they have to make you have that one that's just above everything.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he's 100% unrealistic, but he does a lot of things that are like, wow, that's impressive. Most impressive.
Oh, boy.
But no, he's the star of the show, so...
So it makes sense that he is
Yeah,
most
he's going to do some
impressive.
cool things. But yeah.
Plus, they try to explain how come he is so awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not just
I
hey, there's this average guy and he happens to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm just saying in reality, I don't think there is a Jason Bourne out there who could do the things he does as well. I'm not saying we don't have some good spies out there in the world, and terrifyingly good, probably.
There's
but
one of them watching right now going,
I know I'm gonna show you, Thor.
you don't even know.
You have no idea
You have
how
no
good we
idea.
can be. Yeah, that's why we're so good, because you don't know.
Mm.
But anyway, no, everything I hear about Andor gives me hope. Pretty much everything. I don't know. I hate to get excited, and I'm trying to just stay calm, Thor. Don't get excited for Star Wars because.
You can get excited for Star Wars.
I mean, I'm not saying you can't get it. That's the wrong way to put it. I guess I'm saying I don't want to be like, oh, this show's going to be really good, and then I watch it and go, it was average.
You don't want to be disappointed again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like the last
But I
two.
continue the hype train.
Well, no, I mean, it's fine to get excited. It's fine to have hype, but I think the last two, Boba Fett and Kenobi, these are characters I really wanted to love the shows, and I thought they were average at best.
Right.
Not that they weren't they weren't exceptional. I would have been fine with that, but average it's kind of sad, and that's again at best. But anyway,
Let's continue with the article.
yeah, I'm sorry.
You ramble too
I
much.
don't know.
All right, that stripped down, more intimate setting was evident in Rogue One, where Gilroy helped on that script. And clearly he means to carry that aesthetic over into Andor as well. He says, it's an adventure story. It's one man's odyssey through the center of the story, and then all these peripheral characters surrounding him and spinning around. I mean, God, it's looking to be entertaining. It's heavy material. Heavy things are happening, but it's an adventure story too.
Yeah, I mean, again, that sounds good, right?
It does sound good.
I mean, it sounds good.
Maybe it's when you start taking that mystical element of the Force out, people don't go overboard.
That's an interesting thing because I feel like the sequel's kind of like the kind of got weird with Star Wars, and not necessarily. I'm going off topic. I'm sorry, but one of my complaints with the sequels is they just feel so strangely off.
Well, you can't introduce new force powers in Andor because there's no force characters.
No, but I mean, I'm sure with everything.
Real.
It's like there's a million ships in The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker, and we're doing all these, it just felt so disconnected. I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
telling
I'm done.
A smaller story like this is the key.
Yeah, I'm focusing on Andor, not the regrets of the past. Not that they're my regrets, but I didn't have anything to do with that.
All right, so let's move on then to the second article if you are done here.
I think so.
All right.
I'm in a mood today, so forgive me.
I will.
A good mood too. It's not a bad mood. It's just one of those
weird moods.
Yep.
Good. I get to deal with that the rest of the day.
Yes,
everybody.
you do. Yes.
All right. Article 2 here. Andor main theme to have different variations between episodes, says Tony Gilroy.
Interesting.
Lucasfilm released earlier this month their production briefing on Andor, a 29-page document that I wish I had access to, available to the press, where they detail the most relevant aspects of everything and everyone involved in the upcoming Star Wars series on Disney+. In the document, the company confirmed that 3-time Oscar nominee Nicholas Britell, he did Moonlight, HBO's Succession, is composing the music for the show. He's actually won a lot of awards. He's done a lot of cool projects. Gilroy first explained how integral the music is to Star Wars, in this briefing, of course, and how that carries over to Andor through new and unexpected ways. He says, "Music in Star Wars is just absolutely, essentially identified with John Williams. I mean, bow down. But we're going in a whole other direction. We needed an entirely new vocabulary. We're making a new visual vocabulary, a storytelling vocabulary, a new casting vocabulary, all of these things. We're going to make a new musical vocabulary." Nick Britell was not only available, but interested. Nick is one of the premier composers of the moment right now. He's on fire, and he's inspired.
I hope that's not literal fire. Sorry, that's a mood. I don't know. But I think one of the things, back to complaining Thor, I think one of the things that the series haven't yet kind of captured or gotten right is the music. I'm not saying it's all been bad, but he's absolutely right. Like the John Williams score is, it's another level. It not only takes Star Wars to another level, but in itself, it's just fantastic, right? And it is a huge part of Star Wars. I think everybody was blown away in 1977 with this epic score, to go along with this epic film. And I don't think that any of the series...
His theme in Kenobi was really good, too.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just saying, I don't think any of the series have really integrated the music the way that John Williams integrated the music. And not saying it has to always, do that, but it is a huge part of Star Wars. And I think that's been missing so far in all the series.
I was really hyped up about the Kenobi score, but for some reason, anytime they had any Natalie Holt music, they lowered it so much in the background, I couldn't tell. It wasn't until I started actually listening to just the soundtrack that I was like, this music was good. I wish I could have enjoyed it during the show.
But that's the problem. When you get done with the episode and you're like, well, nothing really stuck out with me in
there
terms
was
of the
John
music.
Williams theme, but that was pretty much... Yeah.
And even if you listen to it later, wow, this is good. But it should, in the moment, it needs to hit you. Yeah, it feels kind of generic-y. Like, the MCU has very generic music, I think, most of the time.
There are moments that really pop out.
There are a few, yeah.
In the document, it said that Britell and Gilroy have been working on the score for 2 years. However, as Gilroy explains, it looks like they may have needed the extra time. He says, "We both underestimated the amount of work it was going to take. All of a sudden, it turns into this gigantic thing, and it's been one of the great creative experiences I've had. Andor will have a central theme," Gilroy had said, "though it will be slightly different from episode to episode." He goes on to say, "One day, I went to Nick's house, and he played us his theme. I was like, oh my god, that's our theme," I called Kathleen Kennedy to say. "We have a theme. None of
a show.
None of the opening sequences are the same, and each variation is a different orchestration, a completely different interpretation of our theme that Nick has done. There'll be 12 of them in the show. I'm sure people will parse them and figure them out, what he's done.
I know that.
But I think they're absolutely beautiful."
I can see it. There's a twinkle in your eye. You're looking forward to this.
I've
been looking forward to this.
Visual and the opening sequences are going to be different per episode, and a theme that's going to reflect what's going. Yeah, I'm in.
I know.
Mystery box me. I'm ready.
Mystery box is your
mystery
thing.
box. I'm in.
Yes. You even created your own games around music.
I
where you,
did.
Yeah.
And then I think some actual company got licenses and did it.
Yeah, years and
But we played it with our friends and at Christmas
Yep.
with my family. Everyone loved it.
Yeah, years ago you made the theme
The
song
theme song
where you
game.
just play a snippet of the theme song and then you have to guess where it comes from. And
me
it was
forever
everybody
to
loved
make
it. Everybody I've ever seen play it has
Yeah.
loved it.
I took a 10 to 15 second clip out of themes.
Not even that long. Some of them were much shorter. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I put a picture on the screen too that was also a famous movie image, so you
But a
could
different
still
one.
a different one, so that
kinda
you had
confuse
multiple ways to get points.
Yeah.
Yeah, and had to give them teams too. They played in teams. They
Yeah.
they didn't want to play alone. They want to be that one who I didn't recognize that. I'd be like,
It was funny. The first time we played it, I remember everybody's like, "What is it? You made this up?" And everybody's like, "Oh my god, we
Everyone
have to
thought
do
it was
this."
gonna be lame.
And by the end, everybody's just into it. It
and
was
then they're squabbling over points. Wait,
yeah. They got that wrong. They didn't get that image right.
no, like that. No, that one's wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, remember the argument over? I used an Indiana Jones theme, and everyone's arguing.
Oh,
over,
which one?
No,
it was?
we got the right
It was
movie.
Temple
We
of
got the
Doom.
right movie.
Yeah, we said Temple of Doom. You didn't say Temple of Doom.
I'm like, okay, you get an extra half a point then. And we had to go down to like the half points because people were doing
did.
so well. I didn't think people would do that well.
Yeah,
but
people did almost
they
too
stick
well.
with you. They really do.
It's amazing how many of these themes just really, even 2-3 seconds, you're like, oh, I know that.
I know that.
Yeah, it's
Your
a
brain just
never-ending
sits there and
story.
it just sits in the back, and you're like, I know it's there.
Yeah.
All right, so
Random tangent
sorry,
over,
everybody.
yes.
Though no one has confirmed this so far, we may already have our first glimpse of what Andor will sound like with the music of those 2 trailers released. They both sound very different, so I'm curious if that's going to play into it. Why? I mean, the 2 trailers have very different sounding music.
Yeah.
Maybe each of the episodes are going to have a variation of the same theme, so it kind of will keep a fresh score going. But if Bertel's track record's any indication, this could be really good. I mean, Natalie Holt going into Kenobi was still a relatively new composer, but Nicholas Bertel has a track record for great things. He's been nominated, he's won awards, his music is really good. I've kind of sampled some of it.
So Andor will be Jason Bourne meets various theme songs. That's our
That
today's
is the weird-
takeaway. No.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of interesting things coming for Andor. I mean, the fact that it's going to have a different opening sequence per episode, kind of like an actual opening with, I don't think Kenobi had that.
Kenobi didn't. When
It had like 2 seconds they played in like
yeah,
Kenobi,
yeah,
and then
little
here's the
sand,
show.
The title came up and kind of got sand swept away.
Yeah. But this sounds like it's actually going to have opening sequences.
Weird. A lot of shows don't have opening themes anyway. That's a very, it's a rare. I mean, do you remember like opening credits? When did those go away?
Well, they're still there. They're just really, really brief.
No, but I mean, they used to be
really-
like 2-3 minutes. Even in like Spider-Man when we rewatched the first
You get to hear the theme
yeah,
first,
there's like
and you get to
2-3
see
minutes
that.
and we're looking at each other like,
And they played the main hero theme.
yeah, are
Yeah.
we seeing like every person in the movie before the movie? Like
They got away with that because I think audiences got impatient. Audiences don't even like to
think,
sit through the
yes.
credit unless you put a post-credit scene in there.
I
so.
know. I think that's one of the reasons they started doing it,
Yeah.
is to get people to watch the actual credits.
Because
like, hey,
those
these people did
do
a lot of work.
deserve the recognition.
Yeah.
They worked their bums off for that.
Yeah, but it's weird. Yeah, opening credits used to be a really big thing.
No,
And
they're not.
long, like I said, that Spider-Man. Watch the first Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Like those credits are like opening credits, are 4 to 5 minutes long.
Well, it's funny because they pretty much moved that sequence to the end and then put a like a mid-credit, they call them now.
Yeah.
So that mid-credit scene would have literally, that segment of the credits would have been at the beginning.
Yeah, because
That's the difference.
they usually like had this animated stuff going, like the Marvel movies that have that first, the first 2 or 3 minutes where
Which
they,
is usually interesting looking.
yeah,
For some reason, the Age of Ultron sticks out to me where they like watched that like big marble statue and they zoomed in on each character on the marble statue thing and
yeah,
there's
I remember,
Thor
yeah.
and here's the name of his actor and it was cool. Now
Yeah.
they put that at the they would have put that at the beginning.
yeah. Now they
Before
put
the
it at
movie.
the end, yeah.
Now it's at the end.
Yeah, and then they go to the all black, where they just scroll across the screen
traditional.
afterwards. Yeah. Funny how that works. But anyway, I think we had about 2 minutes of Andor news in here and
Sorry, everybody.
10 minutes of ramble. No, that's what they say. They stick around for the ramble. So if that's true, you heard me say that, I guess.
Okay.
Well, that's all we've got for you this time. So take to the comments below. Tell us what you thought of the 2 minutes of news we gave you and the 10 minutes of ramble.
Andor. It's all Andor.
And it was all and yes, there was no ramble.
No ramble,
No
all
ramble at
Andor.
all. All Andor all the time. But anyway, take to the comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.